Okay, so what we're going to go through here is we're going to go through what is called as a sequential marketing campaign. What you're going to notice here, it has a lot of similarities to what we did in the triangle formula. The triangle formula, as you know, this was how you were working with already existing customers, and through those customers, you were able to get referrals, and you still had multiple exposures to multiple people. This sequential marketing campaign, a lot of it is going to be done through content marketing and by using flyers and direct mail and things of this sort. But what you're going to see here, again, it's called the sequence marketing campaign. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see how a power washer used this formula to go from 0 to 21 to over $21,000 a month, again, by using this formula. So again, just as a review, let me go ahead and reintroduce myself to you again. My name is Chris Brown. I'm the VP of Content and Creation here at ProStarProfits.com. Now, one of the things that we've talked about in some of our previous videos, I always like to bring this up anytime we start a new campaign, and that is that a lot of times people feel that financial success is a game of chance, and that rich people and successful people have privileges that other people don't. And I know in the case of myself, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but my parents told me, when you hear about this type of stuff, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Again, I'm sure a lot of you were told that as well, but that's a statement that poor and middle class people, if you've ever had exposures to the rich, that's something they don't teach their kids. They teach their kids to be very open-minded and to research it. They don't want to do a stupid thing, but what the rich teach their kids is to go out. If it sounds too good to be true, go out, do the research, look at the data, look at the numbers, and find out if it is too good to be true or if it really is a good and sound investment. Now, another thing that a lot of us has heard, that 4 out of 5 marriages end in divorce. Yeah, and that's true, but that's not really the whole story, because there's a lot of factors that influence on whether we will have a successful marriage or not. Now, the same thing is also true when it comes down to business success. You know, throughout the years, you spent a lot of your tax dollars to help the government finance the research of what all the world's most successful companies have in common, and that's why we do give you these coaching programs and these videos and this business education, because we know that the average millionaire spends 60 minutes each and every day educating themselves on business and financial material. Now, we also know that if you get married after age 27, you're going to have a 51% chance that you will stay married. So when it comes down to marriages, get married after age 27. If you're in business, what you want to do is you want to spend 60 minutes each and every day educating yourselves on business and financial material. And what you're going to notice here is most average people will spend 6 hours watching TV every day. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go out and become a millionaire. That's not necessarily what we are endorsing here. But the number one goal that most people have when it comes down to finances is just to be able to get ahead. And because they're just trying to get ahead, most people are falling short at that. So what we want to do is we want to go beyond that goal. And if we go beyond that goal, more than likely we're going to be able to get ahead. So here's what we do. Do what millionaires do, and you'll have a greater chance of getting ahead. Now, what we're going to do here, so what we've provided you here is, as part of this system, obviously we've provided you with the tools, but we've also provided you with the education here. So what we're going to go through here is we're going to go through an advertising campaign that this gentleman named Peter used to be able to take his power washing business from 0 to over $21,000 a month. Now, I want to show you something that is very, very important, and that is a thing that is called as a swipe file. And a swipe file is an advertisement that has been proven to be very, very, very successful, but then we go ahead and use this exact same advertising campaign. We just might cater it to our specific business and type of industry. So as you can see in front of you, the one on your left was done by Merrill Lynch. It was an ad that was run in 1943, and it was entitled what everyone ought to know about the stock and bond business. So in the case of Merrill Lynch, it sold their investments. 40 years later, Steve Jobs came out with what every educator ought to know about desktop computers. So it's the exact same ad. The original ad did the selling of their products and services. So did the ad that Steve Jobs used. But the only difference is he took out his products and services and inserted, or excuse me, in this case of Steve Jobs, he pulled out anything that had to do with the stock and bond business and then replaced it with all the information about desktop computers. So this is what we're going to do here, and that's why with a lot of these advertising campaigns, it will work for each and every business that you do have. So let's look at this. So the first attempt that Peter made for his power washing business is just like what everybody else did. Brand and how long I've been in business and hey, I'm the greatest. And again, it just looked like every other ad out there. And so it was an utter failure. Now, in the case of Peter, he took a course from Dan Kennedy, and most of you know by now that I used to work for one of Dan Kennedy's top students. So our clients would spend anywhere from about $15,000 to about $25,000 for me to coach them and share with them what I learned from Dan Kennedy. So this gentleman, Peter, who is a power washer, took a Dan Kennedy course and changed his flyer like the one that you do see in front of you. And so that was step one. What he did when he first started off here is he went out and personally went door to door delivering these flyers. He printed up 100 flyers at a cost of about $20 for him. And out of those 100 flyers, he got 4 customers at an average of about a total profit of about $600. Okay, that was the first thing that he did. So now he's got some customers, right? Now the next step, as you can see here, is he then thought, well, if I can print out 100 flyers and if I can make $600, what will more flyers do for me? So he hired a rollerblader, printed up even more flyers, had a rollerblader go deliver these flyers for him, and that grew his business from $600 to $6,292. He was spending about 18 cents per flyer at that point. And the average job that he was getting was about $200 to about $2,000 on average. Now, from there, he grew to what is called as an every door direct mail campaign, and we'll show you what that is as we go along here. Now, the second step is the mail the letter to the neighbors. So after he sends out that original flyer, he now has a customer. A customer is now booking an appointment with him. He now goes ahead and sends the second letter to all the surrounding neighborhoods. So while he's in the neighborhood, he wants to book other appointments. And that way, because what most power washers do, and this is what really causes them to not be so profitable, is they're jumping all over town. They're going to one end of the town and to the other end, and so that what causes them not to be so profitable. So what Peter does is he uses this letter that you can see in front of you. We'll give you access to this in the next few minutes or so. But while he is in the neighborhood, he gives his clients a blatant bribe. Basically, he's giving them such an offer of while he's in the neighborhood that he's going to bribe you into taking his services, because if you do it later, it's going to be too expensive for you. So do it while he's in the neighborhood. Okay. Now, that's the second step. The third step is then after the job, he goes ahead and sends another letter back into the community, and then even later, he then goes into a community and then he does this 3-sequence sales letter. And what has happened a lot of times, he'll be able to, so this is in a neighborhood, a community, he'll be able to sell 60, 70, 75% of people because of he's re-exposing these exact same customers over and over and over again. And so neurologically, what's going on in the brain, if you know anything about brain science and anything like that, it's the reason that we follow up so many times. That's why follow-up is so effective, is because in the brain, there's different connections. There are different neurological connections, and it's like a muscle. So the more that they see our marketing message, the thicker and the stronger that neurological connection gets. And because of that, it develops loyalty and brand loyalty, and it develops trust. And that's why we have to expose people to our marketing messages after so many times before they will decide to go ahead and do business with us. And this is exactly why this sequence marketing system works. You're not just exposing people to them once, you're exposing people to your messages over and over and over again. There's times when he's exposed the same neighborhood to his marketing messages 16 times and he's still getting new customers. So what we're going to do here is and by the way, before we get going here, using the sequence marketing system, he went from 0 to over $21,000 a month by using these 4 different direct mail campaigns. So if you look down below directly underneath this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go through these flyers. I'm going to show you and how you can go ahead and implement them into your business. And I do want to encourage you to actually watch the videos instead of just, printing out the advertising campaigns and going doing them yourself, because and the reason for that is because you know what will go on here too. Now, in the case of Peter, he distributed the flyers himself, but because of what you have part of this system, we are using the advertising money that your competition has already spent in advertising, and how you can use that to go ahead and get more customers. So instead of spending your own money in direct mail and distributing the flyers or hiring somebody to distribute these flyers and these messages for you, we really endorse you that you let another business distribute these messages to their clientele, and that's how you're going to get more customers. So if you look down below directly underneath this video, we're going to go through each one of these sequences, and so go ahead and start off with the first sequence, and you'll be able to find that down below directly underneath this video. Okay, but if you do have any questions, if you do need any help with anything, please do get in contact with us, or get in contact with the person who referred you to this system. But take care, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Bye-bye now.